What's up, guys? Kind of up early this morning. Had a difficulty time sleeping. Watching that situation with Donald Trump last night, man. Man, what I'm doing now is I'm on a different table over here. You know, because silver is a little up and Bitcoin's down. So I'm looking to liquidate some silver. I got some other stuff that I'm gonna get rid of today. But I'm going through some bars and seeing which ones, just some generic or some art bars or whatever. And you quickly realize, guys, that when you're selling silver or organizing your stuff or whatever, what you really like. And even though these are like generic bars, I you just realize what you like, man. And I love bars. I just love 1 ounce silver bars. I don't know if you can see that. The ones that I really want to keep, I put over on the other table where I make my videos at, and I put most of them up. But anything like patriotic, that has really a lot of meaning to it, I put over there on the table. Like this one's kind of patriotic, but I got a few of these. I don't know if you see this. Philadelphia. See, that's what I'm saying, man. The Bicentennial City. Yeah, I can't get rid of it. And then this stuff right here, all this pile right here is a bunch of like happy birthday or Merry Christmas or Happy Thanksgiving. So it's all like art generic stuff that I think some of it's got like years. I think this is 1992. Sorry about the lighting, man. I wasn't trying to like show off silver. I was just sitting here doing this. I said, might as well just turn it on. Because when I get thoughts, I just need to talk about it. And you guys are kind of like my therapy, But I don't know, man. Yesterday, when I was watching those police officers, bring Donald Trump in and everything else, and give him a mugshot. Again, everybody keeps talking about the Democrats. The Democrats are stupid for doing this. And yeah, that's part of the equation, but Democrats are not really the ones that are running it. It's the people above the Democrats. They're just using the Democratic Party for this cycle. Because believe me, they've done it with the Republican Party too. So again, it's not Republicans and Democrats. So let me just say that before I say what I'm getting ready to say. But for them to give him a mugshot, right? You already know, on their side of the fence, the elite side of the fence, they're trying to villainize him and trying to basically say, hey, this guy's a villain. Look, you can't vote for him. He's a criminal, blah, 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 blah. But obviously it's backfiring on them because people are just, I've seen a lot of black folks, man, saying blacks for Trumps, blacks for Trump and N-words for Trump. I've seen this one video. This one black guy. He had the N-word, N-words for Trump. And that is the funniest video. And yeah, they're just rallying. Do I think black people are going to vote for Trump? I don't know, because Trump doesn't give out free stuff. You know how that goes. But anyway, that's for another video. But people are standing up, man. People are looking at this stuff like a joke. And now, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. When I go out and I was already looking at the police officers like this, but I'm starting to lose respect for them. And I not the individual police officers, because I know there's some very good ones out here, and I'm definitely not for the defund the police stupid stuff they were in 2020. But I'm starting to lose respect for those that go with that kind of authority. And here's what I mean by that. If I see a police officer in some of these counties or cities or states or whatever, and they're just letting people run amok, because remember, I'm on the West Coast, so I see a lot of stuff, man, that people are just getting away with. Anything under $1,000, they just basically have a free ticket to steal stuff, man. And for them to let a real criminal get away with stuff, and then you're booking Donald Trump and taking a picture of him, but then you're letting criminals that are actually committing crimes not only let them go, but when you're booking them, you're saying, hey, you don't need a bail, just go ahead and go and do it again, basically. I don't have respect for that, man. And a lot of people are going to lose respect for the police, especially in these blue cities or blue areas that crime is just running amok. And, I know a lot of people don't agree with me when I say about the Civil War thing. Guys, listen, you don't need a gun to commit civil war. Look at those people in 2020. You know, Trump derangement syndrome is a real thing. And those people that were out in the streets, they had Trump derangement syndrome, but they weren't. In 2020, I'm talking about Antifa, Black Lives Matter. The mainstream media and the machine and the establishment fooled those people and made them believe that black people are victims. And, George Floyd's death was a murder by a, racist white man and all this other stuff. They jailed the guy for it, and rightfully so. He should go to jail for that. But what they do to us, the brainwashing that the weak people are doing right now are crazy. And I know people with TDS, with Trump derangement syndrome, and it's real. And if you think that 2020 was bad when they were burning down the streets with lighters and torches and stuff, again, you don't need a gun to commit vandalism and commit crimes and do damage. You know what I mean? And while the cops, again, the ones that I'm not respecting right now, the people that are just going along with the go along because they're told to, because believe me, there are going to be some police officers that they're not going to do this anymore. They're not going to comply with this stuff. They're not going to comply. Even the army or military people are going to say, I'm not doing this, man. When you're out here, these criminals are out here just running amok, and the police are just standing there. And I've seen videos of police bending the knee to black people or whoever, saying, "Hey, I'm sorry for doing this to you." I'm sitting there going, "What in the fuck?" These people are going crazy over nothing. You know what I mean? Again, I know George Floyd's death was bad, but why are you not going crazy when the black people die in the inner cities? Why is it only when a quote unquote white cop does it? You know what I mean? Because they were brainwashed and they're weak-minded and they're sheep. And so with those kind of people, which there are a lot of, there's millions and millions of them around our country. You don't think that when Donald Trump is getting closer and closer to the race, you don't think they're going to start going crazy to the presidential seat? They're not going to go crazy. They're not thinking about Joe Biden being bad in the White House or what he's doing, because they're not told that's not bad. They're not told it's bad. They have to be told what's good or bad. They have to be told what's racist. They have to be told who is a good person and who is a bad person. If you watch MSNBC and CNN and any kind of Democratic stuff, Joe Biden does nothing wrong, and Donald Trump is the problem. Donald Trump is not the president right now, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Biden is. Donald Trump is not doing this recession that we're going through, because we're going through a recession. You know it, and I know it. Inflation is crazy. Everything is up. We got an open border. We have all these problems that I can sit here and make a 20-minute video literally listing the problems in this country. And they're worried about Donald Trump, who is not in charge, not worried about the guy who is in charge. And that's my point, guys. When Donald Trump got elected in 2016, I had went back to college. I was in a program when I was going to doing a program for college, and I was doing some stuff, and I was in a liberal city at the time, New York State. And these kids, because I was in my 40s, I think it was late 30s, 2016. Yeah, I was 41. Man, let me tell you, you got some weak ass people in this country, man. These people were literally crying at the college, crying. You know what I mean? And he didn't even do anything yet. I said, why don't you give him a chance, man? I know you wanted crooked Hillary to win, but why don't you give the man a chance? I didn't vote for Trump the first time. I voted him for the second time. I didn't think he was qualified. I just thought he was too hot-tempered and just too much of a narcissist and stuff like that. But now we have no choice. We almost have to vote for him now. Not because he's this great guy. It's just because if we want our country back, this was going to happen. And again, right now, like I told you yesterday, my favorite is Vivek Ramaswamy. The problem is he doesn't have a snowball chance in hell to win if Donald Trump is allowed to run or eligible to run, if they don't put him in jail or say he's ineligible. But if Donald Trump gets knocked out and they have a second place guy that, between the JV team on the GOP stage the other night, course we're voting for Vivek Ramaswamy. And I think if not, I think Trump should either pick Tucker Carlson for his VP. That's his first choice. If Tucker even wants to do it, I doubt it. Or Vivek Ramaswamy. Either way, okay. And honestly, I'd take anybody on that stage over Joe Biden. And that's saying something because all those people are crooked. They're bought and paid for. They're neocons and they're warmongers. Every last one of them on that stage. And if you didn't notice when Vivek Ramaswamy was asked, or everybody was asked about, would you, fund the war, or continue to fund the war, or not continue to fund the war? He was the only one that raised his hand. He said, absolutely not. I'm not giving any money to a foreign country that has nothing to do with our country, the United States. We don't have a border, and we're sending more money over to them. Meanwhile, we got Maui burning down, and we're not even helping them. And the $12 billion that we're sending to Maui, quote unquote $12 billion, we're doubling it with Ukraine. We're trying to send double that, and if we don't send that, this is what Joe Biden said, we're not going to send $12 billion to Maui. So he's attaching the Ukraine money to Maui, and he was the only one that stood up for that. And when he started telling the truth that basically these people are super PAC puppets, they're bought and paid for, every last one of them, and that exchange he had with Nikki Haley, and believe me, I've had plenty of arguments with women. A hit dog will holler. When you start telling the truth and he starts naming those companies that she's working for, aka the military industrial complex companies that are funding these wars, because they're the one that sells them the weapons and the stuff. When he called them out on it, Nikki Haley is a neocon. She came out strong in the debate. When she said what she said, but the bottom line is, you don't want Donald Trump in what you were supporting him a couple of years ago, and now you're bought and paid for. You are bought and paid for by the military industrial complex. I'm not voting for anybody like that. They're all bought and paid for. Every last one of those people on the stage. They all have a specific job. I like Senator Tim Scott. I like him, but he's bought and paid for. You know what I mean? Ron DeSantis, he's becoming more and more being pushed by the machine, because don't think for 1 minute that Fox News is a conservative Republican GOP news station, because they're not. You know what I mean? They're not for the GOP, and that's what they need to understand. Fox News, they need to understand that this was a GOP debate, not a Fox News debate. They wouldn't let Donald Trump Jr. and Donald Trump's people backstage again at the situation room. You know what I mean? They're completely blackballing Donald Trump. He's a leading GOP candidate. Again, they're not for the GOP, ladies and gentlemen. They're all part of the establishment. They're, to me, like I said before, even though MSNBC and CNN are absolutely the worst, they're the worst. They lie about everything. Fox News, to me, is even worse than them, because they are a wolf in sheep's clothing. They're all evil. All mainstream media, all lamestream media. And that's why I said yesterday, it was a win for us, for not only Tucker Carlson to go up there, the fired man, the bad man, who's anti-establishment, who gives a shit what team he's on, to go up there and not only make them look stupid as hell by outviewing them by so much, Fox News, but he also had Donald Trump on there, the guy that the GOP is against, or the Fox News is against. There's some Fox News reporters, like I said, are pretty good. But to me, it's all a machine, man. We need to fight against that machine in a non-violent way. And how I'm doing it personally is I have a lot of silver, ladies and gentlemen, a lot. So I'm going through this stuff. And to be quite honest with you, when I'm looking at this stuff, I'm probably not going to sell any of it. I just love my bars, man. And maybe some of this stuff right here. Let me show you this. Sunshine Mint. Sunshine Minting. These are just like generics. I got probably about 100 of these all together. I got to look at my other thing. But they're just, regular bars I picked up at some pretty good prices. Last time I checked, silver was $24. I don't know what it is at this moment or today. I think I looked at it yesterday. But stuff like this, man, it's hard for me to get rid of. But what I'm doing personally is I'm investing in Bitcoin again, because it's the path to freedom, and it's the path to what our forefathers set in this country. We are a republic. We are a republic, ladies and gentlemen, and when you look at what's going on with our founding fathers and what they wrote in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, they're going away from that. Fox News included, all of them are. And gold and silver are written in the Constitution as real money, and they've detached us from that. They've absolutely detached us from God's money, gold and silver, and they created a fake money in the fiat currency. I call it cuck bucks. And I'm taking those cuck bucks and I'm buying as much silver and gold as I could over the last few years. And I took my gold and I consolidated it into silver and platinum and Bitcoin. And now that I'm understanding Bitcoin even more, which is the same to me as a digital gold, but does more. And it gives me transactional, very, very small transactions in a split second, not a second, in a split second, that I can zap around the world and a government entity can't control it. That's one of my paths to freedom. There's all kind of different paths to freedom, but that's my digital path to freedom, ladies and gentlemen, at a monetary level. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm going through my my stock and my storage of all the things that I have and everything else, because you guys can sit back and believe for a second that everything is good. I suggest you don't do that, because it's not. And I'm not a fear-mongering person. I'm really not. I'm a very, very logical person, because I'm not that smart. So I have to be very logical and look for the truth. And I don't see anything coming out of this but bad for this country. If Trump loses the election, the people on the right are going to go crazy, and rightfully so. Now, because there's going to be always conspiracy theories, right? If Donald Trump really loses the election, let's say he loses the American Psycho, Gavin Newsom, because Biden's not going to run. We all know that. So if he really loses a legit election to Gavin Newsom, the American Psycho, right-wingers are going to go crazy. They're going to say they stole the election and blah, blah, blah. Even if they didn't, they're going to say that. If the election was obviously stolen, like it was in 2020, they're going to go crazy, and rightfully so if the election was stolen. If they put him in jail, they're going to go crazy. If they say he's not eligible, they're going to go crazy. Now, that's the right side of the aisle. Now, the left side of the aisle, if Donald Trump wins on any circumstances, they're going to go crazy. And we know this, guys. And what do I mean by crazy? Again, look at 2020. This is not something that didn't happen already, ladies and gentlemen. They went crazy over and no disrespect to George Floyd, okay? God rest his soul. But he was a dope fiend, man. This guy was not a good guy, okay? He was a criminal. He had a counterfeit $20 bill. Not saying he deserved to die at all. I am not saying that, because he did not deserve to die. But he wasn't a good person, man. But the reason why everybody went crazy, because the media focused on that. They just focused on that person. They can focus on anything they want, just like they did with COVID. They focus on a certain thing, and people fall for it, hook, line, and sinker. And what do you think they're going to do? MSNBC, CNN, and all these Democratic controlled mainstream liberal media outlets are going to focus on. They're going to focus on Donald Trump being a almost a convicted felon and a bad guy and all this other stuff. So what do you think the lefties are going to do? They're going to go absolutely crazy. So there's no scenario whatsoever that is going to be good, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not trying to be negative again, and I'm not trying to scare anybody. That's just the reality of it. I don't see it any other way. Some of you guys are saying, oh man, it'll be okay, and it's not going to be that bad. And some of us, people are lazy. People are not lazy when it comes to being a sheep, man. When they're told what to do, even the lazy people get up and do what they're told. And it's a shame, man. I wish it wasn't this way. I wish that everybody that listens to my videos and all the people that are, smart would tell their immediate family members and tell their friends and family and the people that are in their circle that you've been lied to. You know what I mean? And join in with you with doing stuff like this, getting prepared, and being on the right side of history. Because I believe we are on the right side of history. So I'm just ranting a little bit, going through this stuff. I'm looking at it. Like I said, this is probably the stuff that I get rid of. I'll get the rest of the Sunshine minting bars. Other than that, I'm going to keep the rest of the stuff. Northwest Territory. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Am I crazy? Am I wrong or right? Am I crazy for selling my silver for Bitcoin? Let me know. All right. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.